Hey everybody, so I just have a quick announcement for you. As you can see behind me is a house, and we finally made the transition from our apartment, which actually right here you can see is our leasing office. So we did not move very far. Actually, if you look behind me, our back of our property leads right to the apartment complex in which we lived in. Um, we saw this house about a year ago, and I took a tour with the owner themselves and looked at the house and just immediately fell in love with it. Um, we gained some extra space, not very much, but we have now a garage, we have a huge shed, we have a half acre of property, and endless possibilities of what we can do and update it. She's kept it very period time. The house is from 1874, and it is a farmhouse. So we're going to modernize it a bit and bring it up to our taste level. But besides the point, we have a half acre. We have a half acre to play around on. And we're right here in Talmadge, right near the circle. We're literally just a quick jog. We can walk down to the circle for when they have their big Circle Fest parties and stuff, which we host an annual party here for our friends and family to go down there and see the live bands, the fireworks and the light parade and everything. But I wanted to take a minute and show you what the property looks like and what you're going to see be developed over the next couple of years and so on, and some of the plans that I have upcoming in the next video that you're going to see. So let's take a tour. So I'm going to start here in the backyard. So you can see we have a leasing office right next door to our back door. That's our old school cellar doors that go down to our basement. But our property line actually goes to where you can see that retaining wall and the arborvitae. So that runs all the way down, actually up on top of that retaining wall, and then down and around, which goes to the apartment complex. And then we have some wooded area back there, which is owned by a company down the road, and we're hopefully the next couple years we can maybe buy over some property from there. We have a shed over here that has electricity in it, which is great because that's where the tractor is going to be held and a lot of the gardening equipment. And hopefully right back here, I'm thinking a cutting garden, vegetable garden maybe, or over here in this open area which leads up to the garage, also maybe possibly even a greenhouse. But now that I have a basement, I really don't know that I need a greenhouse unless I get a lot of plants on sale and they need to go somewhere, so maybe just a simple cold frame will be sufficient. But you can kind of see how the yard is. It's pretty level back here. It's a gradual slope from here over. We have an area over here that I'd like to put some loungers. This pine tree right here you can see is pretty much dead. This is actually coming out with this one and the few other ones which I'll show you in the back. Those are going to come out because they're dead and they're just kind of unsightly and they're in weird positions for what my plan is for this yard. And they're really old, so it's time to get them down. They're actually going to come down this winter. We have a tree company coming out to do that, but we have two beautiful maples and I've gotten the chance to see them turn through the year, and they're beautiful orange and yellow, so there's some really pretty colors for fall. Beautiful pine right there, which we will keep. Lots of pine cones at the top for collecting for projects and stuff like that, and then I can take some greens for other projects. I'm not quite sure what all that is down there. I know there is a rose, and then that bush that you see is, which is kind of orange, is in the berry, has some berries on it, and I'll show you what those look like when we get up front. But at the back end of the garage we have moved over half of my garden, which was all that I have done the other videos on, which was me freaking out. But you can see a number of them are over here, and so far so good. I do need to tilt some of these up because they have fallen, but they're nice. They're wet and they're frozen in, which is the main thing. And then as soon as I can, I plan to get these in the ground. But you can see the previous tenants, they just weren't very good. So we've got some cleanup over here in the brush area just for our sanity until we get the fence up. And then we'll take a walk over this way. We'll start at the side of the house and we'll go up front. Now, mind you, we are on a busy road, so my quality of voice may go, but you can see really we have no flower beds. We've brought over a few things and just kind of thrown them in the garden for right now. I'm gonna get my bunny inside, but we have this patio that's going to come out. Hopefully there'll be either an addition that goes on the back here, which we're talking about, but also this will probably be just an area for a large deck that we can entertain on, and then our kitchen door will be moved over to here rather than from here. So that window is our dining room, kitchen, and then that's our bathroom window. And then over here, you can see the side of the house. There's not a whole lot going on. A lot of these shrubs are just dead. They're just dead, which it's going to take some time to dig out, but we'll get these puppies out. As you can see, we're moving up front here. This dish, which we're not dish people, we are unhooked from cable and all of that. That's going to go. I'm going to call the company and see if they can't come out and take it out, or I'm going to get up there and rip this out because I'm not getting chopped in the head every time I walk by. I mean, it's hanging pretty low. So you can see these arborvitaes, these are on our property line, so these are going to come out. These ones, at least these two, the other ones actually are in pretty good shape. So I'm going to just kind of nurse them. I'm going to plant some bulbs through here in the next video and show you what's going on, and maybe down yonder because I've actually got some beddage over there. But I just have to make sure that I'm on my side and not their side. But then you can see we have kind of this hump that goes in here. It's kind of valleyed through here, and then it humps back up to the front of the house. Again, no flower beds. It's kind of sad. And we got some things we need to cover up. I mean, this is going to be pretty cool when I get the ideas going. I'm thinking some fieldstone, retaining wall, and maybe getting some of the yard leveled in a bit. We do have to be careful because there's an abandoned well out here that we have to be sure that we don't break into the pipe. But again, here is another tree. This is an old birch. I mean, this thing is up there. Again, another piece that's coming down in a couple months. I want to salvage some of the prettier wood if possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. The city has come in and chopped on these maples that flank either side of our driveway. They're not pretty, but in the meantime, they're just going to have to stay. I don't know that they're going to cut on them anymore. If they are, we're probably going to have to just take them out because they just look horrible. But okay, so flanking the front of the road, and you can see just how close we are to the road. We've got a really long hedge of yews, and it's ended with this beautiful, and I'm not a fan of burning bush, but first off, winter interest, we don't have a problem per se with burning bush escaping or being an invasive species around here that I know of. I am going to check with our local extension office just to see and be sure, but this is a really old one and I love the way it's been taken care of. I'm going to clean up some of those lower branches as well, but it's really pretty. Reminds me of Japanese maple, and I just love where it sits. Kind of blocks that telephone pole. But this is really the only area I have beds, so I've got a lot of weed barrier to pull up. It's been mulched and everything, great and wonderful, but this is going to be a task on its own. But you can see the yew hedge right here. It's got a number of dead leaves in it, but they did trim it before they sold the house to us. And then it kind of just wraps around, and I'll give you a quick view of what we have out here as far as beauty towards the road, which is next to nothing. So that's just how close we are to the road, and you can see all the cars that are coming by. We're debating on taking that out, the hedge, but it'd be hard to get something in there just as pretty or as much as privacy as possible, but we're going to look into those options. So we have a turnaround right here. I've just stuck my poor weeping blue spruce at the corner just to give it something. We have this huge arborvitae, and if you can see here right up in front of the house, we have this massive pine tree that it's too close, it's too scary, it's too top heavy. It's tried growing new leaders a lot of the way up, so that one is coming out, and then I'll show you the other one here in a minute. But we have along the stretch of our driveway, which is going to get repaved here in the summer by one of our friends, this is the line of shrubs. So we have under here all the leaves which need kicked up and taken out, mulched up, but we have all these timbers, and it actually ends right here. I didn't realize that. that go up the entire length of the driveway, back up to the garage. And all of these shrubs are getting taken out, and I have a plan of doing a whole line, if I can get my hands on enough of these, a whole line of boxwood shrubs. Then inside of them I would like to put a number of purple alliums, and then either temporarily until we can get the hydrangea or lilac standards, just depending on which ones we end up going with. We're going to put some pots in between there just to dress them up, and with some annuals flanking it, and then it'll be backed by a decorative fence, which I would actually like to go and do around here as well, backing the beds. So as we come back up here, coming up to the garage here, just have a planner. Again, we just moved in, so there's a number of stuff every which way, and I have these pumpkins to carve today to get the seeds out, and then I'm throwing them out into the woods over here for a number of the wildlife, so they have something to eat and they don't go to waste. But see, my pots have gotten moved. This is that bush that I was talking about. I'm not quite sure what it is, so if you do, leave a comment in the comment section so I can figure out if it's a keeper or it's bad stuff. But I really liked it, and I used it in my winter containers, which I didn't show you guys. And I showed you this one on Instagram, and I think this piece is going to come out, and I'm just going to stick the lanterns I have at the front door. But this is the other spruce. It's right here by the garage. It looks a lot better than the other one until you get to the top, and it's dead at the top. So, which means it's going to start trying to throw out some more leaders to continue on growing, and we just don't need that. And then all the needles being so close to the house and stuff, and into the drains, and the clog up in the gutters. I mean, it's just not worth it. So, but we have a few things that we need to do, like that awning's got to go, and the gutter needs propped back up. I mean, there's just a few little things, but we have beds right here, and then it flanks this really pretty brick path. So I'm going to keep the brick path, but I want these things. These things have got to go, and we need to add a drain here because it puddles up because the driveway has gotten so high. And we're just basically, when we get the driveway done, there's going to be a drain that comes out, and it's going to go all the way over to here and flush out into the past the flower beds, but out into the open field area. But as you can see, we have some flower beds to work with. I'll be able to plant some stuff in here, not too much. This is the north facing side of the house. You can see my drill over there getting ready to do a project, but this is the north side of the house. It doesn't get a lot of sun, so this is going to be interesting of what I'm going to choose to plant over here. I don't want to do a lot of hostas. I don't want to do a lot of ferns. I want to do a little different, but this is the west side to the north, to the east, and all of that is just sun. Look at that. And then all of this will be sun as well, so we'll be able to have some really beautiful things. I'm thinking some boxwood hedges coming up here, maybe some gardens through here that maybe wrap up from like round and do a U formation and pick up back into here and then go, and then we'll have a fence and a gate system right here, and another fence on gate, a small gate on the other side, just to access the backyard and the front yard with the tractor to be able to mow. But you can see I've moved over this light, not this light, what am I talking about, this planter. This is what happens when you bring flock stuff. It turns to mush. But I'm going to put that up on here just so I can see it outside of the kitchen window. So I hope you guys kind of see all the endless possibilities we have. I mean, this yard's got its little humps and quirks to it, which I'm really excited to build up over the next couple years and really see what we can come up with. And I hope you guys are ready to be along for the ride, because it's going to be a long one. You guys are going to see a lot of stuff come to, hopefully maybe pull some inspiration for your own house, and just enjoy what we do and see the plant selections and the ideas we come up with in the next couple of years. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our little, well, not little, but our first home, and what we're going to do in the next few years, and the endless things that I have planned in my head. And you'll maybe just enjoy the process. I know I'm rambling at this point because I'm a little bit cold, my hands are cold, and I've got a lot to do here. So until then, we'll see you again. Thanks guys, bye.